Hello, everybody. My name is Christina. I work with single mothers that are looking to have meaningful relationships, but they don't want to go through the heartache of ending up with Mr. Wrong again. I help these women to avoid the habits that attract the wrong men for them, and I show them how to attain the mindset necessary that will have them headed in the right direction to attract and obtain their Mr. Right. Tonight, I want to talk to you guys. Hey, thank you for coming in. Hey, Nikki, how are you? I want to talk to you guys about avoiding negative people because this is something that is a real issue out here these days. Hello, hi. I notice it a lot, and we have to start to avoid these people. Well, why do you do that, sir? Is it something that happened to you, or what's going on? Maybe you just need somebody to talk to sometimes so you can clear your mind, and maybe it's something that happened. I don't know. If you're an honest and sincere person, I encourage you to reach out to me. You can contact me via email, christina83.walton@gmail.com, and I'll definitely talk to you or anything like that. But we're going to start the list. Number 1, people who are always negative. Every time you talk to them, everything, oh man, it ain't gonna work. There's nothing right anyway. Just everything turns into something negative. Hey, LW Fitness, thank you for coming in. Just everything is negative all the time. You can't seem to have a good time with these people. You want to plan to go somewhere. I don't want to go there. This is just, it's like, oh, that's aggravating, and just leave it alone if they're not going to be on the same page as you and wanting to do the same things as you. Don't waste your time. Someone who's constantly criticizing you. You can't do anything right. I don't like the way you wash those dishes. This isn't right. I don't like the way everything you do is something they don't like. They don't like it. They don't like it. It's like, then why are you here? If they don't like, excuse me, if they don't like anything you do, there's absolutely no reason for them to be with you. Just bottom line facts. Someone who's always jealous. People like, well, I like someone that's kind of jealous. It shows that they care. No, it doesn't. It just shows possessiveness. And the same things that they are jealous about when it comes to you, they'll turn around and do it and expect not to hear one word from you about what you're doing, about what they're doing, rather. And that's unacceptable. You have to look at it for what it is. And there's a difference between jealousy and someone who just doesn't like bold, blatant disrespect. Oh, you don't have to be that way. If when it comes to bold, blatant disrespect, it's like, and now if you go over there and you let a guy start squeezing on you and everything like that in front of his face and all this stuff, now that's bold, blatant disrespect. That's not jealousy. If he says something to you, that just means you're doing the most and you're wrong. But jealousy is like a coworker or something said, hey, how are you? And you said, hey, how are you? Who was that? What's this? And then all of a sudden it's a big issue and all you did was speak to a coworker. There's a difference, People who don't keep their promises. If they tell you they're going to do something, they're going to take you somewhere, they should honor what they said to you, because your time is important and your feelings matter. So if they're telling you they're going to do these things and they don't do any of it, then that's a person that's toxic. They're just out there filling you full of hot air to keep you around, but they really don't have any good intentions for you, and that's definitely something we need to avoid out here. Someone who's always dramatic, it's always going down. The police are after him, somebody's after him, the baby mama, something's always happening. Always. It's like never a nice, calm evening. They always have something going on. And then they start up stuff with you too. It's time out for the dramatic stuff. Why, sir or ma'am, do you always have something going on? There should be some peace in your life. Only people that always have something dramatic going on are fools, and we shouldn't even be surrounding ourselves by fools. That's biblical. You don't always want something to be going on. Someone who plays the victim all the time. Have you ever talked to somebody when you're getting ready to start dating them, and you're like, so what was your last relationship like? Why did it end and everything like that? And then the only thing they tell you is the other person did this, and they never accept any kind of responsibility for anything ever. That's toxic. Because if they're blaming everything on the other person right now, you're going to be the other person later. And they're going to blame you for everything. Because that's just how they are. They're not going to accept responsibility for anything they did. They have no intentions of it, and they don't care to. All they want is someone to pity them, and then once that pity train is over and you suddenly call them out for their stuff, they're on to the next because they crave that pity train. And that's what they're there for. And no one has time for that at all. And they wonder why they can't find a relationship to be in. It's because the same thing happens over and over and over again. And until that person takes responsibility for themselves, it's best to leave them alone. No matter how awesome they seem. If a person is not accepting what they're doing to contaminate and destroy their relationships, it's a lost cause. It just really is. Someone who's self-centered, everything has to be about them. You guys, you're planning to go somewhere. You say, well, why don't we go to the movies? I would love to see this movie. No. We're going to the motorcycle show. Okay, you're fine. You go to the motorcycle show. But every time something comes up, it's always what they want. It's never about you at all. I always say this, compromise is necessary in a relationship, but change is not okay. And that's the last one on my list, is when people try to change you. Compromise is when, say, I want our wedding to be pink and white, but my man wants the wedding to be white and blue. And we talk to each other and we discuss why we want the colors we want, and then we decide together that we're going to have the colors be purple and white. It's somewhere we met in the middle that made both of us have a sense of being okay. Neither one of us got exactly what we wanted, but neither one of us were jaded either. We weren't forced into the other person's will. Changing a person is when it's something that's a part of them. Say you're the type of person that likes to watch shows about criminal investigation and things like that. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. You like to watch shows of that nature because that's just what you do. And then you have this person, you'll never watch that again. Those shows corrupt your mind and this, and then they just tell you can't do it anymore. Or say he plays video games. And you decide you don't like the fact that he plays video games, and you're telling him he can't do that anymore, even though that was already a part of what he was doing before he met you. It's not okay. You either like the person or you don't. You either enjoy them for being every piece of who they are, or you don't. Compromise is doing something different. It's affecting things, outside things, but not the person. Change is attacking the person that you are. And that's not okay. You should not be trying to change anyone, nor should anyone be trying to change you. You can't mold someone into who you want them to be. They either are or they aren't. And if they're not, please stop blocking someone else's blessings. Because if you're out there and you're mad about him playing video games, trust and believe there's a lady out there that loves the fact that he plays video games because she either wants to play with him, or she wants to watch him, or she doesn't care simply because of the fact that he's sitting there on the couch playing that game and he's not out cheating. So she doesn't care. So while you're harassing him about it, there's someone that would love to have him. and fine with it. And same thing, if he's out there harassing you about what shows you watch, there is some guy that watches those shows too, or he doesn't care that you watch them, and you guys can be happy and content. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Don't change a person. Don't attempt to be changed or anything like that. Be who you are. That's how you get the most sincere and genuine relationship, is when you are who you are. Do not try to change yourself, because again, if you put up that fake persona, eventually it's going to catch up to you. You're eventually going to cause yourself some strife and confusion. You're going to sit there and you're going to pursue this little fake relationship, and as soon as you can't hold on to that fake persona you developed, boom, that relationship is good as dead, because that person fell in love with the fake you that you presented and not the real you. And that is a cause of destruction for a lot of relationships, because people come in with the little fake representatives, and they're not really who they are, and eventually it's going to come to the surface. Some people hold on to these things for years, but then it eventually surfaces, and then you wonder how Eddie and Donna were married for like 10 years and all of a sudden they're divorced, because the real them finally creaked out, and it was a problem. You know, you can be exactly who you are and have someone and be happy. You know, I encourage people to be true to who they are. Don't let anyone discourage you about wanting a relationship. You'll have people out there, you shouldn't be out there trying to get in a relationship. You should be trying to be by yourself and find yourself and blah, blah, blah. It's like, look. If that's what they're looking for and they want to be by themselves, then good. But they shouldn't be out there telling you shouldn't be wanting a relationship. If you want a relationship, by all means, please do so. We were designed to be together. We were not designed to be alone like that. So if that's what's on their mind, let them do them. But don't let them ever come in and attack you for wanting something more. I mean, that's by nature, that's what we want. We want somebody that we can be with, someone that we can enjoy and spend our lives with. Not sit around alone and crotchety, getting meaner and meaner by the day. You know, a good woman is a crown on her husband's head. You know, someone who's all wicked and crotchety is like a cancer in his bones. That's biblical. You know, people are out here trying to discourage love in all forms because they don't have it themselves. And therefore they try to justify not having it by deciding that they don't need it and you shouldn't need it, you shouldn't want it. But they should take their negativity elsewhere. It's not okay. Be free to be who you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. And avoid the negative people, the toxic people who are not worth being in a relationship with. Until they find themselves, they're not going to be able to do anything for anyone else. You know, you think, well, maybe they're like that because things happened to them. And maybe it did, but they need to seek help for that first. They need to get the help that they need before they pursue a relationship. And I encourage all my lady friends out here, before you get involved in a relationship or anything like that, resolve the issues. Take care of the problem before you bring that into another relationship. All you're going to do is hurt somebody or run them off. It's not okay. We got to get help. And, you know, we need help all the way around. It's not just love help. Everything is usually off whack when you're not. When one aspect of your life is off, usually everything else follows after. You're usually not completely comfortable in your spiritual life. So you got to get that back together. You're usually not happy in your career or anything like that. You got to get that together. And everything, you know, everything coincides to make you a happy person. And, you know, it's important to be happy and not just be out here living on the earth just to be living. You want to be a happy person. You got to get it all the way together. I'm out here to help you with your love life, help you release those issues that you had before, help you to realize the patterns that you've ran into, help you to all around become ready to be loved again so you can get out there and finally have that relationship that you've been wanting for so long. Because, I mean, when you have children and stuff, it's just hard out here to be by yourself. Even if you financially have it covered, backup is good. When you're not the only one running to pick up the child and you're doing this and doing this. When you have somebody that has your back, they can go get the baby sometimes and everything like that. It's a beautiful, wonderful thing. And I feel blessed every day for it. And I just want that for all of my sisters, is to have that kind of backup so you can calm down a little bit. So you don't have to be Wonder Woman all the time, you know? And so I'm here for that. You can reach out to me, Christina83.walton@gmail.com, or Facebook, Christina Walton Lewis, or my business Facebook page, which is Walton Lewis Enterprises. And I have a website coming out soon, which is waltonlewisenterprises.com. And I also have a book coming out very soon. I will release the date soon, in a few days. And you'll be able to get that. Thank you so much, LW Fitness. You'll be able to receive all of that. And then I also want to let you know about your spiritual wellness. My mentor is Tracy George. She's a very, very wonderful mentor. She's definitely a great woman of God. And if you need to get your spiritual life together, if you're feeling kind of lost in your church home, if you feel like there are things missing, like you get it but you don't get it, and you feel frustrated and you feel kind of outside, and you just feel like you kind of don't fit sometimes religiously, or you feel like there's just parts missing, watch her scopes in the morning. You know, get with her. She has programs and things like that, and books that are coming out and everything. It will help you get your life. I promise you that. You know, she has this book called The Blessed Place, and it's just a wonderful read. And by the time you're done with it, it just really blesses your life. And so if you need something like that, please do look into it. And as far as your business, your career, I have 2 suggestions for you. If you're the type of person you like to run pretty fast and you learn pretty fast, I would suggest Danielle Winningham. There is no other like her. You can fly at the speed of light if that's what you want. But if you're the type of person you learn a little bit slower and you kind of need the hand-holding situation, I would suggest my coach, Romonica Gamble. She's really good at, you know, being more personal with you and everything like that, kind of at a slower pace and everything. Or you're like me, you have both, because there are some wonderful things that I learned from each one of these ladies, and I am proud to have both of them as my business coaches. And you know, I've done a lot of things that I would have never done previously had it not been for them. I enjoy all of my coaches and my mentor, and I feel blessed to have that kind of environment going for me now. Yes, definitely watch her in the morning. If you follow me, I always share out her scopes, so you'll be able to pop in or at least see the replay. It's a wonderful experience. Please do so. But yes, do not get yourself surrounded by these negative people, because it's like crabs in a bucket. You'll never move beyond this, because they're always pulling you back into the negativity. It's time to step out of the dark places and move forward into the light, because there's so much more calling you in your life, and you got to go for it. You can't stay stagnant. You can't remain in the same places. You have to move forward, and there's nothing wrong with that. And don't let someone tell you, oh, you're forgetting where you came from. You're not forgetting where you came from. You're leaving where you came from so you can do something different. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with self-betterment. As a matter of fact, when you better yourself, you can probably come back and get some of these people if you want to. But sometimes they got to take a back seat so you can elevate yourself to the best that you can be, and then you can deal with them later if that's necessary. Sometimes you have to be like Abraham in the Bible and you got to go. Sometimes you have to go. And that's just what that is. But you guys, I want you guys to stay encouraged. Be who you are. Stay away from toxic people. Keep moving forward. Don't let anyone discourage you from finding love. Whatever their problem is, they need to get that worked out too. And if you find that you're a toxic person, work on yourself. Get help. That's what I'm here for. That is exactly what I do. I got you. And even if you're not toxic, but you still have hurt and anger and pain and things that you're working through to where you can't move forward, I'm here for you. Or if you just don't know how to date at all, I'm here for you. All aspects of the relationship, here I am. I have you covered. And also, I wanted to let you guys know that the group will be opening in a couple of days. I have things I'm adding. I feel you. I got you. I got you. You will. I just want you guys to know the group is going to be open in a couple of days. I want to make sure I had plenty of content on there for you guys before I opened the group up and everything like that. And I'm also working on another book. So shortly after the first book comes out, there will be another. And I appreciate you guys for coming in. I appreciate all the love you show me. I appreciate you for sharing out my scopes. I appreciate you guys for coming in here this late because I know you're tired. But I also understand that most of us work during the day. And then we have to take care of our families in the evening. And usually the only time we have left to do things is at night. So that's why I'm here this late. Because I understand what it's like to have a busy life. You just really don't have time. You can't really focus on things like this when you're at work. Or when you're dealing with your babies. You have to take care of your babies and your family and everything like that. You really don't have the kind of time during the day to really do anything like this. So I come on late just so I can make sure you have time to really listen and absorb the information and go to sleep with a different mindset, maybe a peace of mind on the issue. To my replay viewers, thank you for coming in. Heart me up, show me some love, share me out. I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart for watching me, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Good night.